All right, we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first FreshCast episode.
Yes, sir.
Um, my name's Tristan, and this is Zach.
Hello.
So I don't think we can really talk about anything else until we kind of get started with the election, because literally, like, America is in like a halt. No one's doing nothing because it seems like Joe Biden's going to win.
Yeah, it's
That's what
it's
it
looking
seems like.
it's looking like he's gonna win. Um,
I mean, we don't know yet because we still have how many states to decide? Three,
six.
six, seven, if you're including Alaska, right?
Yeah, but Alaska has voted Republican
Wait,
for the past 20 years. So
oh, it's only six. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. You're right. So, I mean, we still got a ways to go. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, I mean, I think a lot of people were surprised how much Pennsylvania has went Donald Trump's way.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, it's not by a little bit either. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's literally 6%. I mean, that's and even Michigan. I mean, he's only down 1%. I mean, it's has Alaska always been a Republican state?
For the longest time, they have been a long time.
No, because you know more about it than I would. If a senator in that state is Republican, does that state usually go Republican?
Most typically, yes, but not in all cases. There's been a lot of cases, like when the senator of New Mexico when Obama was president.
Mm-hmm.
The senator was Republican because that was also when Susana Martinez was governor. And New Mexico's always been a Democratic state. But you also got to think about it too. I think they said New Mexico's population is 1.3 million, and only 500,000 people showed up to the polls.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
true,
mean,
and that's another thing too. Especially with this election, they said this is probably the biggest election that we've ever seen,
yeah,
right? Or in
the
centuries.
because everyone's actually able to vote by mail. I think because people who normally don't vote, they can vote
Yeah,
by mail now.
yeah.
Quotation marks.
Now, what do you think about that? What do you think about mailing ballots? Do
Well,
you think it's
considering
accurate?
I think it is because considering the job I do, I have to mail certain things every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, they start popping up in my inventory on my handheld. They start saying, "Oh, you're missing a check from this," and I mailed it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so there's flaws in the mailing system for
I
sure.
I
That's
I think that's the biggest thing is that there's too many flaws out there
mhm.
to do the mailing batting.
Yeah, yeah, and but I in one way I could see them doing it for elders,
Yeah.
especially with everything going on with COVID. But I don't see an issue with the 25-year-old or 30-year-old walking to the polls. I
Well, and
mean,
that's the thing. Like they want to cancel the polls, but then it's still okay to go to the grocery store. Go to Walmart, for instance.
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
Walmart.
go to a protest and a
Yes.
peaceful protest, and it's fine. But when you go to a Trump rally, it's a problem.
Yeah. I also disagree with that. That during all these riots, sorry, peaceful protests, during all these peaceful protests, there hasn't been hardly any mention of COVID spikes or anything. Yet
Yeah,
in Trump rallies, they're saying, "Oh, 300,000 people came with COVID due to a Trump
yeah.
rally."
And honestly, they're not wrong, right? I mean, COVID
Mm.
cases are up, right?
Yes,
I
but
mean,
you also got to think about it. Like for me, for my work, I've had to go have 2, 3 COVID tests done now. They're demanding more COVID tests from
mhm.
higher companies. So, of course, more testing, more cases.
Yeah, and then that's what we wanted from the beginning, right? The faster we can get testing, the better everything's going to be. I
Yeah,
mean,
because the
not
more test, in theory, the more testing you do, the easier it is to find out what
yeah,
to
who needs
fight
to
it.
stay home, who needs to quarantine themselves, which makes sense. But it, it was kind of ridiculous in the um, what are they called, the debates, where they were blaming him for 210 deaths,
Yeah,
210,000 deaths. Like, to blame it on one person is insane, because a virus that's airborne, how can you blame that on a human being?
Yep.
And I'm coming from an unbiased place, because I don't want this podcast to be mostly like I'm coming from a Republican side. I'd rather be in the middle, to where I see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Trump isn't the greatest president in the world. He's not very presidential,
No,
but he gets the job done.
No.
And whoever comes after him is going to be interesting to see, because I feel like he broke that kind of barrier of a typical lobbyist or a typical politician getting in.
Yes, I agree with that.
I mean, even Reagan wasn't he a governor before he became president?
I believe so.
Yes, I mean, he had to be in the system somehow. I mean, I think Trump.
Trump is the first non-politician that has no background in politics
which is crazy.
Something. It says something.
It does, yeah, and I think that's going to set up for whoever comes after him. If Joe Biden gets elected to be president, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are nervous. I think taxes are going to go really high, but in general, everything that's bad in the media is going to be put behind.
It's going to be still blamed on Trump.
But right now in our world, everything is highlighted because we're trying to beat this bad guy.
Yeah.
But when Joe Biden's in, it's just going to be kind of hidden. It's not going to be talked about. I mean, how often did you really hear about the war when Obama was in office?
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't hear too much.
All you heard about is this celebrity got divorced to this celebrity,
and I think that's, if Biden gets elected, I think it's going to start going back to that.
Yeah,
that we're going to start seeing everything's going to start becoming more hidden.
I agree. I really think it's going to be a lot more hidden, and I think things just go back to normal.
Yeah, and maybe that's what we need in this year of 2020 is we need some more normality.
But at the same time,
I don't want normal.
Yeah. I mean, we came this far. I mean, why not push it?
Because that's one thing that Trump, as much as I wish he would stay off Twitter, I think that's the worst thing invented for that president.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of nice because we actually know what's going on behind closed doors now.
Yeah, and I was listening because I told you last night I stayed up listening to Joe Rogan podcast, and then I stayed up and listened to the actual election on the news. And this lady was saying on there that most people that she talked to went with Trump because he says it how it is.
Mm-hmm.
He just says it how it is. It may not be perfect, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
The one thing I wish he would stop doing, and what do I know? But he always says, we got the greatest this, the greatest that, the greatest this. After a while, it gets redundant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sooner or later, people are going to get tired of it. In his position, I mean, he's still running the country while running a campaign.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's still doing all these rallies. Where was Joe Biden's rallies? Where was his big, and it was surprising. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very surprising. I didn't see, like even here in the state of Texas, when Biden did try to make a rally, the Trump train that went around, it did not go good. And of course, they were blaming it on their safety concerns. But
it wasn't Joe Biden though.
Yeah, it was
it was a senator, I believe. It was some kind of senator.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah, but it wasn't anybody important. I heard that on a podcast, and they were like, it wasn't anybody important, because if it was somebody important, you would have seen police cars. You would have seen the whole nine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, as crazy as our world is, that makes sense. But right now, the results for the election are 248 Joe Biden and 214 Donald Trump. Still 6 more states. How long do you think it's going to take before we know?
Well, with what Trump is doing now, I don't know if you heard that the Trump campaign is now suing the state of Michigan because of these ballots that are coming in by the hundreds of thousands. he's started it. I think now it's probably going to be on a hiatus to where it'll probably be Friday. I genuinely think so because, like, I mean, last time the election was when Trump ran against Hillary. We knew that night. We knew before midnight.
Yeah.
And now I understand that there's more ballots going through than there has been in the existence, probably. But it doesn't, to me, it's just not ringing bells. Like when I went to bed last night, I went to bed around 11 o'clock and I looked in certain states, Trump was up 600,000 votes. And then this morning I was slowly, like I would check it every hour and like I would just start seeing Biden's votes going up by tens, 15,000 each time I checked. And that does look sketch, but in all honesty, we'll never know.
Yeah. And last night this guy kept saying, like, he just kept repeating it over and over and over. He was like, the mail-in ballots are not going to be counted till tomorrow in Pennsylvania. And he wasn't saying Michigan. He wasn't saying anywhere. He was saying Pennsylvania. Well, if you look at the polls right now, he's got a 7% lead in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I mean,
Pennsylvania. Let's see. 86% of all votes are in on Pennsylvania. So that's, like you said, he's got quite a big, decent lead, and 86% of the state's already been voted.
Yeah, I mean, this is still up in the air, right? I mean, it's not over until it's over.
It's not over until somebody hits 270, because 270 is because they can both be at 269 and 269 and be a dead tie, but they're still going to be at one person.
Joe Rogan talked about that last night. I know we're taking too much time on this subject, but I think it's really important. So, it's. Where was I going with that? I was going to say something.
We're talking about Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was saying, what happens if they tied? In a crazy world, what happens?
I honestly, and from what I've read, I don't think there can be a tie. I think that's why we have the electoral votes. Because if the electoral votes become a tied, then it becomes popular vote. So if they both hit 269 and they can't decide who wins.
So if it is 269 right now, let's just say it if it is, it would go to Joe Biden, right?
Yes, because Joe Biden. Yes, and I think that's unfair because, think about it. The top 10 cities in America: Houston, LA, Houston, New York, Dallas, Austin. Those 6 that there I just named are all Democratic cities. Those 6 cities right there make up 60% of American population.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that smaller towns go conservative, but cities go Democratic?
And I may be bashed for what I'm about to say because I think Democrats, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them depend on the government. And Democrats are always for giving out handouts. Whereas Republicans, and I say conservatives, but not just all conservatives, you look at rural towns, what do? Farmers, construction workers. They work with their hands. They're not looking for a handout. They're not looking to give me this, give me that.
Yep, they just pay their part in taxes and keep going.
And that's what I think. That's why a lot of people who vote Democrat stay Democrat. And that's another thing is I think it also depends on who you're raised.
Yeah. And at the same time, there is a lot of we can't deny that there is tons of neighborhoods in high populated areas that have been ran horribly wrong for the past 20, 30 years. And anybody can say that, and that's true. I mean, you go to Chicago, I mean, how many deaths are happening? It's ridiculous. I mean, the crime is insane. I mean, you don't hear about it right now, but on a regular basis, you would hear about it all the time.
And that's one thing that gets me when everyone talks about Chicago, for instance. Chicago has the highest gun control city.
Mm-hmm.
They have the most, like they're to a point like you do not own this. Then how is there so many gun-related deaths in Chicago?
It's true. Yeah. I mean, and then you go to Texas where it's the Wild West and
Now, that's another thing. Like now that we've kind of went into gun control, I'm all for stricter background checks, stricter mental health. Like I am all for that, but don't tell me that I can't own this gun because it looks scary.
Yeah.
Because
Who are you to tell me what to do with my freedom?
exactly, because like right
Yeah.
now, I could go into my closet and get some scary looking guns.
Yeah. Which some people would think you're about to kill a bunch of people because they don't know anything about a gun.
Exactly. They don't know nothing. I think it also has to depend, like, because everyone says, "Oh, well, guns murder people." Guns do not murder people. I've owned
Boy.
3 of those guns in my closet for probably 10 years now, and they've never.
None of them got none of them got felonies.
Yeah, and people are what murder people.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
agree.
it's all comes down to mental health, like the school shootings and stuff like that. They're terrible things to happen. I do not wish for another one to happen, but every time it comes out, the first thing they say, "Oh, it was an AR-15," before even the facts come out.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10 times, okay, maybe it is an AR-15, but how did that person get that AR-15? Oh, they stole it from somebody's closet. They stole it from a gun safe. They stole it from their neighbor. Is it not a crime to steal that gun?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if people want to argue the point of, accidents happen, most gun owners respect their guns.
Yep.
They lock them up. They're away from the children. And
It's like my guns. I have my guns in one place. I have my ammo in a separate place. It's for that safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody has the right to bear their own arms. I think that's why it was so important for the founding fathers to put it in there. Yeah. And everyone says, "Oh, well, that they didn't think about." You can't tell me that our founding fathers, as innovators as they were, did not think about guns changing over time. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had to have. I mean, because during that time we were still flintlock and pistol, but they still had flintlock and pistol Gatling guns.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like
true. Yeah, it's true.
You can't tell me they weren't expecting for it to get as enormous as it was.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about this later time, but it's insane to think about the founding fathers of how much planning that took. I mean, that was years ago. I mean,
1776.
That was a different world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, compared to now, people think that America's bad now. Think about America back then. You're on the wrong side of the river, you could get scalped.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyways, let's move on because the election. I've been thinking about it all day and I'm sick of it. So I kind of want to get away from that. All right, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Xbox or do you want to start with PS5?
Because doing both.
Okay, so
I know what I'm leaning towards. I know what I'm probably going to wind up buying. Well,
what are you going to get?
Both.
You're going to get both, but what are you going to get first?
PS5. I honestly think the PS5 just because I have owned every single console that's out there. And I, like me and you, we both started on the Xbox 360 with our gaming life. Yeah. And if it wasn't for, was it you that switched over to the PS4, right? You started with the PS4?
Yeah, I got a PS4, then Joey got one.
And then I got one.
Then you got one.
Yeah.
But I think the 360 made me want to stay with Xbox. But then the Xbox One came out and it was good.
It was good. And especially think about Halo, all the Halos and Call of Duties. But with me, the fact that I was out of the internet for so long, the Xbox One, the only thing I had on it was single player games.
How long did you go without internet?
5 years, almost.
Fuck.
Almost 5 years. And that 5 years was tough because, being an Xbox One, there wasn't as many single player campaign games out there. They had Halo, and I probably played Halo 3 and Halo 4 and 5 probably 1,000 times through. But then
good campaigns though.
Oh, amazing.
Those are great campaigns.
even Halo starting from Halo Combat Evolved all the way to Halo 5, they had such amazing.
Never played the Combat Evolved.
Oof.
I don't even know why. And I never played what was the new Halo that came out? Halo 6, Halo 5?
Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah, never played it.
See, yeah, I've played it. I've beat it. I will say the campaign was not what I was expecting because you know there was a lot of things that no spoilers in here, but
it's been out, so
but like the way that because you know it wasn't actually Studios 343 that owns it anymore, or Studio 433 owns it, and Bungie does it. So when Halo 4 was good. I mean, me and you played Halo 4.
Yeah.
The night it came out, we beat the campaign. The night it came out, we beat
Did
the
we
campaign.
Really?
Tiva was in the hospital, and I came home.
Holy shit!
Tiva was in the hospital. I came home for that week. Came out on a Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. Me and you stayed up till 4 or 5 in the morning. Beat it.
That's crazy.
And then went to work the next day.
Remember that? Well, duh. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But
the new Halo that was supposed to come out this year.
And
it's supposed to come out in December.
Yeah, and
coronavirus. But
changed it to November. I know they changed it to 2021.
Yeah, it just says 2021, I think. Yeah, December. It was supposed to be December 2020, but I really think that news is going to hurt the release of Xbox.
Yeah, I honestly do, because Halo is such a staple for Microsoft gaming in general. But I think with them buying ZeniMac, that it's caused them to, because now Bethesda, and I know there's a lot of them in that, and I know a lot of those have their own clique of gaming, but Bethesda hits me so hard because Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and that it worries me a little bit, because now I think that's going to be a Microsoft only game. And if that's what they're going to play for, that's how you get sales. Make the game your own.
But is that, $7.5 billion to buy Bethesda. That's great for Bethesda. But at the same time, would Bethesda make more money if they were multiple?
Of course, I think they would. I mean, they would make a crap ton of money if they still sold to PS5. But now it's not up to them.
Yeah.
It's up to
Microsoft. And I mean, what other games does PS5 have that's exclusive to PS5?
Single player games, you got like The Last of Us.
Okay, that was one I was thinking about, which was huge.
I think Days Gone was my PS4 or PS only. And then if you haven't played that, I do recommend that game. That is a fantastic. If you like zombies, that's the way to go.
Which we will talk about one day. So calm down. We will talk about zombies one day.
God of War.
God of War was only PS4?
God of War was only PS4.
Really? I did not know that at all.
And I think, isn't Gears of War only Xbox? I don't think Gears of War is on PS4.
You're right. It is only on Xbox. That's right. Because
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was huge. Like, I seen a ton of different YouTubers playing that.
It's a great game. It really is.
I think it won awards too. I believe it did, because that was a pretty big game, and it looked good. I kind of wish I would have played it.
And I think Uncharted was another game that was.
That looked good. That really looked good.
And if you're going old school, PlayStation 2, Ratchet and Clank, which I don't think they are planning on remaking those.
So freaking Spider-Man earned 8 nominations and won the Excellence in Animation Excellence and Convergence Award. That's crazy.
I know the next God of War that's going to come out is supposed to be pretty good.
I'm kind of I kind of want to play. What is that game? There's a Netflix series based. That's Netflix series on it. Um, where he's like a monster and he kills monsters.
Oh, The Witcher.
The Witcher. I want to play those games. I've never played them.
The Witcher. I played The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt, and that is a phenomenal game. But
have you seen the series?
Yeah, no, actually, I've watched the first half of it. Me and my wife were supposed to watch it, and we never did.
You need to watch it, bro. It's really good. I'm waiting for the second season that's supposed to come out. It's gonna suck in like a year from now when there's no content to watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
because like nobody's working technically right now.
And that's I think next year the movie industry as a whole is going to be hit hard because, like you said, there's nothing coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got hit so hard with this COVID shutting everything down that you can't move on from it.
I mean, like in Texas, you could pretty much do whatever you want. There was a time where it was locked down. But like in LA, I mean, people can't do anything.
Yeah. LA is it got hit hard. New Mexico, of course, they have it to where if you travel out of the state, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
And I'm going to bring up Joe Rogan a ton because I watch that dude pretty much every single day. So he was, I don't know where they pulled this from, but they were saying that, how do I say this? Yeah, never mind. It's kind of hard to say. I don't really want to mess it up and then just spread incorrect information. You know what I mean?
I understand.
But other than that, man, I mean, you know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
What comes out on November 13th this year?
Cold War.
Dude, Cold War, man. What did you think when you played the beta?
Oh, I loved it. As thinking of back on, Call of Duty, I had a real feel for like Black Ops 2 in it. It really had a Black Ops 2 feeling, and I loved Black Ops 2.
It's a good game.
But to me, it's going to be another Call of Duty.
Another pissed off game.
I rage so hard at that game, and I love it. Like today, I played a little bit of Ark Survival, and then I went and played some Warzone, and I raged about for 15 minutes straight, and I got mad.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of a great way to get anger out, though.
Yes, it is. But I should not be playing that game around my wife. But
it's
Cold War, I did like it. I didn't get to play much of the beta. I only got to play it for like 2 hours. I played the alpha.
You only had to play it for 2 hours?
Yeah, I didn't get to play much of it because remember, I had it wouldn't download. I set it to download overnight and it didn't. And then the next day I got to play like 2 hours before it shut down.
That sucks, bro.
The alpha I did like. I do love the sniping in it.
What do you think about them integrating Warzone?
I like that because now it's more or less they're just going to concentrate on one rather than concentrating on two separate games. And I think it'll be really good. I'm intrigued about how they're going to incorporate the guns from Modern Warfare to the guns with Cold War. Because not to me, Modern Warfare is set today. Cold War set back in 80s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. I just kind of want to know how they're going to integrate those two.
If from what I understand, they're just going to integrate items from Cold War into Warzone. That's what I understand. They're just integrating the items into there. The engine that it's going to be using is Modern Warfare's engine that they created for Warzone.
Okay.
So because Warzone has its own engine.
Yeah.
So that engine is just transferring over into another game, which I think is a good idea, but I think for a lot of people that play competitive or play on YouTube, it's going to be hard for them to play on two separate engines.
Yeah. Well,
because Cold War is going to be way different.
It's going to be. And now that you've brought up the YouTube aspect of it, for content creators, I think it's going to be real hard because of the ranked systems.
Yeah, the
skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's going to be very hard for it because, like, of some of the YouTubers I've watched, that's why they stopped playing that game.
Mm-hmm. It's too competitive.
They're too competitive, and they're out there trying to make funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one of them on their team that's, okay, I'll just bring it up, Wildcat. He's really good at the game, so he has like a 5.0 KD. And you got Vanos on the team who plays the game maybe 15 minutes every other week. So his KD's like 0.3.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to make them blend together and play together and make funny moments. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah. And like both of us played Halo 3. I think Halo 3 was a perfect example of how public play should be.
Yep.
Like when I walk into a gym and want to play basketball, I'm not going up against the greatest people that are in that gym. I'm going to whoever's playing.
Yep. See, and that's like when you brought up Halo 3, that the way they had their ranked system to where I could go in a game and play ranked with my ranking, but then I can get in a game with you and go play unranked where we don't have to worry about sweats.
Yeah.
I loved that game and I was good at that game, but I wasn't sweating, especially when it comes to ranked.
Lone Wolves was fun.
See, and I didn't play my game on that was Team SWAT. You throw me in a
Team SWAT was great. But can you remember losing like 5 games in a row and just watching your ranking just go slowly down?
And I think that was the thing, because there for a while I was ranked very high. Me and you both. We started playing.
Yeah.
We started ranking, and then for like a week straight, I was on a losing campaign. I guess I was, and I would drop like 30 ranks in a week, and I was so mad that I was like, I'm done with ranked. I'm not doing it no more.
What it felt like was like once December hit, every kid got the game, and then it was easy to play until everybody got good, and then it was hard to play.
It's just like Modern Warfare 3. Now, that was my game. I was untouchable in that game, except for the one clip you uploaded to YouTube of me and Joe. But no, that game right there was just... I love that game. And especially
recorded more.
Like 2 days after Christmas, you get the Christmas noobs on there. Oh God, you would just smack them, especially
just 6 hours of just straight going crazy.
Oh yeah, so especially much fun. Me and you going to 2v2s and Joey get on, we go into 3v3s, and we would just... I mean, when I went 117 games with 0 losses, I mean, that just says something.
Yeah. I don't really see the point in like Modern Warfare. I don't understand why they're releasing these playlists and then taking them away. Releasing these playlists?
I think I kind of like that because it gives it a more fresh motif, but I wish if a playlist, like let's say the 3v3 snipers only, that is always the most requested and highly played playlist. Why not just let it stay? Like look at Plunder. Plunder was always highly requested. Well, they'd always take it away. They take it away. Well, finally they kept it, and now I think it's like it's right under quads. It goes quads, Plunder, then it goes solos and duos and all that. But why not just keep it? Like to me, especially if they would just bring back a 3v3, let us use our own guns.
Yeah,
I would. Oh.
I think it would be a great idea to do what Modern Warfare is doing, where they bring in playlist and take them out, but leave 1v1s, leave 2v2s, and leave 3v3s. Basic, simple, small maps. That's it. That's all you.
Especially like the 1v1s, they don't even have that anymore. And that's how many players on Call of Duty are playing solo. I am a solo player especially here lately. I'm a solo player. I love to go in a game and just most of the time do stupid crap. If they would bring back a 1v1, I am on it. Instant.
Yeah, and there's a nostalgia behind that because we both remember going to Rust, getting in an argument with somebody in a public lobby, going to Rust, and then going to Rust and spending an hour in there going back and forth.
And we would. And that's especially like bringing that up. Me and you would go into a 2v2 or 3v3 in a private game. The only map we would ever play on Modern Warfare 2 was High Rise. And was High Rise in Modern Warfare 3?
I think later on, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you'd go into High Rise and play in a 2v2. God, that was Or
Yeah.
Terminal. Terminal was the other one.
Terminal was great too. I miss those games, but if I played them now, I think it'd piss me off.
Honestly,
because I'm so used to what's
now.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I will say a couple years ago when this is back when Advanced Warfare was out, and of course I never played Advanced Warfare because I didn't have internet. But one of my friends invited me over to his house, and I never even played a PlayStation before. Played PS3 before that, and he was talking crap about Modern Warfare 3, and I'm like, well, give me time, and I probably could beat you.
Yeah,
and it took me a couple games to get used to the controller, and two, it's a PlayStation, not an Xbox. And
that was hard.
But after I got used to that PlayStation 3, I smacked him probably 37 games. And just I was doing stupid stuff. I was trick shotting him from across the map.
Yeah. It's almost like riding a bicycle, dude.
Once you get it back, it's just like Modern Warfare. I mean, when I finally started playing it, when I first got my job now, going to hotels and playing it in the hotels, it was kind of crazy how fast I started moving up.
Yeah.
I mean, there for a while, I was really good, and then I stopped playing altogether and went.
What do you think? What's the time at? How long are we going right now? I don't want to go too long. I want to go play some Ark in a bit.
It actually doesn't even tell me how long we've been recording.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you this question. There is a lot of people saying that, or a lot of people are wondering, the older people get in esports, the competitive players, because most of them are young, right? That's what kind of the demographic that started it. But a lot of these pros, they're getting up to their 30s.
Yeah.
I don't think you lose any cognitive, is that the right word? Cognitive memory, reflexes. Yeah. You're not going to lose any of that. I think it's to the point where the player gets tired of playing.
Yeah.
He's tired of the competitiveness.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the older you get, the worse you get. That might be for 40-year-olds now because they didn't grow up in that generation.
When I think about it, like my oldest brother, Wayne, I mean, he's 30, 36, 35, something like that. He's getting up there, and he still plays. And not to mean, he's still one of the top players on our friends list.
Yep.
Because
Joey's
30. And I'm 27. Thing. I mean, it's and then you got the baby over here being 25.
But it's the same thing, though. I mean, like, it's not like we're not getting bad at the game. It's just.
And that's another thing that I also would like to bring up. Like, people always talk about gaming, like you need to grow out of gaming. Like, one for your uncle is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't see me growing out of gaming. I do see me eventually stopping multiplayer because, it is competitive.
It does take a toll on you.
But like Ark, we've been playing Ark so much here lately.
That is the most relaxing game on creative mode.
And that's one thing I wish you would. Minecraft, it's
never played it. I mean, I played it, but I didn't build anything. I didn't go after the bosses.
There's only one boss, by the way. But
no, there's those new. I heard there's the new Netherlands
PC.
Yeah, that's why we need a PC, bro. Exactly, we get a PC. I will play Minecraft. Okay.
No, I'm just gonna buy you Minecraft and send it to you. You're gonna play it regardless. But no, like
Minecraft is PS5, right?
Oh, Minecraft's been on it's been on PS3, PS4, PS5.
Okay.
It's going to be one of those games that's just going to transcend time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're talking about Minecraft being as popular as Minecraft was. Why do you think games like Minecraft and Among Us, which are designed for kids, are so popular with elders?
I think YouTubers play games. They find which most of their demographics is kids. Younger kids that are 15 and younger. Whatever strikes their attention, that YouTuber is going to keep playing it. the more the YouTuber plays, because YouTube plays a huge role in gaming now. Whether you'd like to admit it or not, video games go out of their way to ask YouTubers to promote their games, pay them probably thousands and thousands of dollars.
Raid Shadow Legends.
But I think that's the reason why those games do so good and they stay alive, because Timmy, that's 12 years old, is sitting up at night at 10 years old, at 10 at night, watching YouTuber play video games. Then for Christmas comes up and he's like, hey, Mom, can you give me this game? And the reason he wants it is because he's seen a YouTuber play it. I think that's why video games, I think those video games have a huge thing. I don't think Among Us would have been that big if, who did you say first?
I think I was either like PewDiePie or somebody like that.
Dude does everything first. Pisses me off.
But
his videos are so good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I used to not like PewDiePie. I really didn't
either.
But now that he's, because especially when he went on his solo, like when he started going stupid.
Yeah.
I kind of.
He's an entertainer.
But now he's back to actually playing with some of his old comrades. Like, did you know PewDiePie started with Vanoss?
No, didn't know that.
PewDiePie started with Ohmwrecker, and Ohmwrecker was the one that introduced him to Sea Nanners.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Because
PewDiePie was on his own this whole time.
Because I started watching some old videos, and I was like, man, I'm going to watch some old Gmod prop hunt videos. And they started saying Felix, Felix, Felix. I'm like, who's Felix? And I click on the little thing, and it opens up and says PewDiePie down at the bottom. Not up top. Bottom of the description was PewDiePie. And I'm like, holy crap. To see him go from that to number one.
Biggest YouTuber ever. Right? I mean,
is he? Series. He is the biggest gaming content creator. Yes, he has over like I think 100.
And his videos are funny, dude. Like if you watch his videos, they're not even based around the game. It's based around his personality.
And that he's got 107 million subscribers.
Is that even enough people in the world?
There's 6 million people in the world. Don't be that person from TikTok.
But it's ridiculous. You can't even imagine it.
No, and now that's the thing. Like you always think about it. Like 107 people follow PewDiePie, and it's like that's kind of crazy. Like even you start thinking about Vanoss Gaming. He's got like 30-something million. H2O Delirious has 15 million. It's crazy how big these YouTubers are and how much they have a pull in this gaming communities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shoot, they a game. If they send a YouTuber a game, that YouTuber could make or break that video game. I mean, look at
it's scary.
Look at what was it? No Man's Sky. I don't even know if you heard of that one.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky was supposed to be these big. I mean, and granted, I've played it. It is a fun game. It's a massive game. Like there is literal planets the size of Earth that you can try to run around. That'll actually take you like 80 days in the game to do. It'll take you like 4 hours in real life to travel this planet. And there's thousands of these planets. And it was supposed to be like this biggest multiplayer thing. You could actually have space battles, and you can, and like there's people out there. And when it came out, it was a quarter of everything they said. I don't know if you noticed in the past like 2 years, trailers and stuff had now been in-game.
Yeah.
No Man's Skies is the reason why. They got sued because that, and what they did when they first came out, they sent this video to game to YouTubers and said, "Hey, do a good positive review," and people couldn't do a positive review on it because they said, "Oh, well, it's a multiplayer." Like, and you could see in the screen like there's 1,000 people in this lobby, and then they all met on one planet, the same planet, and no one was on the planet but them.
Oh,
so it was.
That's crazy. When did this happen?
Oh, I think it was still during the time that I had no internet, so at least 5 years ago.
And I always hated that when they showed like a little bit of like a theatrical on a commercial was fine. On a trailer, that's fine. But show me actual multiplayer gameplay.
Yes.
Show me the actual campaign.
And that's one thing that I actually liked about this Cold War trailer. It showed a lot of the campaign. It showed the actual you running around shooting, and it's like, okay, I kind of like that.
Yeah. and I hope it's good, man, because
whether it's good or not, we're going to be playing it.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing it for another.
But bad thing is I'm going to have to choose between that or Modern Warfare because one of them's got to go. I ain't got room on my PS4 for both 500 gigabyte games.
Bro, just go buy a hard drive, dude. The hard drive that I have, it's going to carry everything. It cost me $100.
It's not bad.
Yeah, just pay off your mic that you bought and then go buy yourself a hard drive.
Paid for that in full, bro.
I need to go buy a mic. I'm gonna see how this audio is on YouTube, and then I'll decide if I need to go buy a headset or not. But
so, is there any other topics that we missed? I'm trying
to check my phone. I'm gonna refresh the election because probably by tomorrow we might even know who's the president. So it's still the same.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be updating.
Biden has a 1% lead on Michigan. A 1%. That's not big.
1% is 70,000 votes, and 99% reported in, which is so weird that yesterday when I checked it, or this morning when I checked it, Trump was up almost 300,000 votes.
Dude, can you see Nevada's right now?
8,000 votes. 75% reporting.
But isn't Nevada a Democratic state? Or is that a swing state?
It's a swing state.
It's a swing state?
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways. I think last year or last election they went with Trump, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
So, do you know when all these states will be done? Like, is there a set time when these all should be done?
I'm hoping today. I'm hoping, honestly, tonight. I would love to see who's president tonight. Now, granted, I don't think that'll be.
What happens if in a week from now they find ballots?
I don't know.
What happens? I mean,
and that's the thing. I think
does your vote really matter?
Exactly. Does it really matter?
Does it really matter? I mean, what scared me was at the beginning of this, they found those ballots in the trash.
Yep.
That was covered. It was covered for. That was in New Mexico. I didn't know that.
It was. I think it was. I could.
It was covered for like a day, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more information of how that happened.
And if anybody.
I didn't read on it. So, what do I know? So, but man, right. I think that's it, man. Let's go play some Ark. And thank everybody for watching, or whoever gets to watch this. This is the first episode done.
Well, Tristan, where can they reach out to you at? What's your Twitter?
Probably the easiest thing would be catch me on Twitter. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below for both of us. I think that'd be the easiest way. You just click on it there. But yeah, I think we're going to start doing this hopefully every week. If something big happens in the news, maybe twice a week.
Yep.
If we're free. But any closing statements, brother man?
I'm good.
That's it. All right, man. Good. Cool. All right. That was a good one.
Yep.